Okay, so coming to child roots, basically child roots will be useful. Excuse me. When you have sub paths, something like if you take this example here, we have empty path, and we have product list, and we have product details. Okay, in the details for each product, we'll show multiple pages, something like if there is an overview of that product, it will be displayed in this route, and if there is specs of that product, and will display under the specs path. Okay. If you see each component is different. So for this one, it is this component product details, and inside product details we have the root path will basically redirect to overview. This redirect to will cover in next session. And the overview has overview component, and the specs has the specs component. So now let's say if user is on this page, product hyphen details slash some number, okay, 10 or something. Let me show it here. Product ID is 123. Okay. Now in this page we can show some links like or some tabs like overview and specs tabs. Okay. If user clicks on overview, this URL become the product ID slash overview. Okay. And for that we'll display overview component. And if he clicks on the specs tab, this URL will become the specs after the ID, and then we will display the specs component. Okay. So this is how this child roots will be useful. And just like the parent root, child root will have all the parameters which a parent can root can have. So the only difference is, so for all these children roots, the prefix is this one. Okay. So this one will not change, the product details, but after that these things will change. We can have 100 child URLs also, doesn't matter, but only thing is all those 100 URLs will have this prefix, product details. Okay. So we can do one example, and it will be easy to understand. But before that, let's cover the this fallback routes also. So basically sometimes what will happen, whenever our Angular application runs, right, basically it will go to the default path, right? Localhost, if you enter like this is the default path. That means there is no path at all. It's an empty path. Okay. So this is empty path. So to handle this empty path, basically we can give a empty path here, so that whenever we are trying to access the URL directly without any subpath, then that will be matched. This empty codes will be matched. Okay. In case of empty URL like this, just the domain part, domain and port. Okay. So now we want this route to be handled with this one. So basically whenever Angular encounter this one empty path, we are saying redirect to the component one route. So component one is one route, component two is another route. This is a path. Okay. So this is a component two. So whenever the Angular encounters the empty path, it will redirect to this route. Okay. And this route, whenever Angular encounters this route, it will render this component one. Okay. So we are saying path match full. So basically whatever there should match with the full length. Let's say we can say some path also here, like ABCD or something. When you say path match full, then that ABCD should match with the URL we entered. Then only the redirect will work. Okay. I'll show that. Here in this case, there is nothing, but we are saying path match full. Okay. So for us, it doesn't make any sense because there is nothing. And we are trying to say only when full path is matched, then only redirect to component one. Okay. But in some cases, you can basically give some predefined path here. So whenever that path is entered, then you can say that entire path must match, then only go to the any path you define below. Okay, so that is one way of handling these fallback routes. Another thing is, sometimes we might enter something which is not defined in the routing configuration. So this is our routing configuration for second example. Okay, so here I have home path and I have contactors path and I have wildcard star star. So when browser encounters home, it will display this one. When browser encounters this one. But if browser encounters some other URL, something like student details page, students details path, so that is not yet defined in this routes file, right? So that time it will match this syntax, this wildcard. So what we wrote here, in this case, redirect back to home. So it will go back to home. And one important thing about this syntax is this must be always at the end of the routing configuration. So we cannot write this one in the first line or second line, because when any route entered in the browser, right? So Angular try to match sequentially. First this one it will try to match. If it doesn't find a match, it'll go to the second one, and then it will go to the third one. So at the end, then it will come to this one. Then it will redirect to the home or whatever. You can give any name here. But this one, the redirect to must match the path value, whatever we are giving, either this one or this one. So we cannot give the component name here. We cannot give the component one here. Okay, we should give the path name. So if we, what will happen if we add this one in the line number 1 or 2? Okay, so basically Angular will match this URL, and it will basically, whenever it encounters this wildcard, right? So it will think like the URL entered is a wildcard URL or it's unknown URL. So it will try to redirect to home. So whatever you enter, even if you enter contact us also, it will go to the home page because it doesn't know whether the contact is defined later in that file or not. Okay, so that's the reason this one must be always defined at the end of the routing file. Okay, so coming to the child routes. So now you can basically ask one more doubt, like for this paths we have a router outlet, right, defined in the component.html. Now if I click on this, let's say product list, and product list component will be displayed in the main router outlet. But let's say if I click on any of these children paths, but where the component will be displayed or rendered in which router outlet, basically we must have a router outlet inside this product details page. Okay, so for for these three we can have parent outlet, and for these child routes we can have one more router outlet, but that must be defined in the parent. This is a parent, right? This is a parent for these routes. So in the parent component we must have a router outlet directive. Okay, let's do an example. I'll add some more details here in the bottom, okay, about the router outlet thing. But now we can do a hands-on so that you will understand what I'm talking about. Let me try to install it again. npm install. Okay, so this is my roots file. I have, let's say, home, contact us, student list, student details. What the student details will have some ID. Now let me delete this. I did not create this component set, but I'll create. Okay. Now let me add. So the same way we have component and path parameters, we can have children. Children is an array. Okay. And so the children will have the same structure. You can say empty. You can say overview. We can say specs. So now how many components you have to create? We have a test. Okay, we have a test component, we have user component. Otherwise, let me create all these components. Okay. Let me delete test component, user component. I think I have a new project. Let me see. New open folder. Yeah, this one I think. Yes. Okay, this is perfect. Product details. ID. Product ID. And the component I'll add later. Let me add children. Overview. Specs. How to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me create 5. ts config.json. Let me say strict false. Okay, so I have to change this now. That's why it's throwing errors. Okay, let me create the component slash ng generate component home ng generate component contact us. Product details. Product overview. Product specs. So we created all the components. Let me import the home component. Let me import contact as component. Product. Product details component and product overview component. Product specs component. So this one we will redirect it to the overview. That is this path. So whenever there is empty path, it will go to the overview here. Now here in this case, redirect it to home. Perfect. Now, so let's handle. Okay, let's add that later. The wildcard one. Now it is compared. Okay. But we have to add these links inside the app component.html. Let me remove all this. Okay, let me add this. Another list. href. Oh, should not use rest router link. Router link, we'll add paths later. But for now, home. Contact us. Comma 1, 2, 3. Product details. Okay, let me take this out. Do we have router module here? Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. So now let me go to the browser. There is some error. That's why nothing is coming. Please provide path match. Okay, it is expecting the path match. We didn't enter the path match, right? Come on, path match. Full.
Oh, you have to give one more time.
You see, we did not enter the full path here, but it is redirecting to the home directly. See, it is going now.
Yeah.
So I have 3 links. Home works. Currently, home is coming here. Let me add something in the app component to recognize the component section. Class, no classes. Style, background, let me give gray color. And border 2 pixel solid ash. Give 888. So I enclose the router outlet inside this div. So basically, whatever component getting rendered in the inside this set, all these styles will be applied. See, like this.
Mhm.
Contact us is working. Product details is working. All good. But where is this overview and
You have
specs?
a router roll outlet for the in product details also, right? For the overview.
Exactly. Exactly. We have to add that here. The product details. So let me keep this here.
Mm.
Yes. Now product
Yeah.
overview works. But why product overview is coming?
Mhm.
So I click, let me say contact us. Contact us is working. We click on
Mhm.
product details. It is directly going to the overview because we added the redirect to.
Yeah.
We added the if empty path is there under the product details slash some ID slash. If that there is nothing is there, it will directly go to the overview. That's why it is going to the overview. Overview is
Mhm.
rendering product overview component.
Okay.
So let me add some stuff here. Maybe I'll copy this. Okay. Now let me add some link here in the product details page. In product details page, I can copy the HTML from here. Remove home. Let me keep this to overview. Specs. Okay. So the difference between this square brackets, right? So if I keep square bracket, it is expecting some variable here. The specs might be some variable inside this TS file. But if you don't add square brackets, it is considering this as a string, right? So that's
Mm.
the difference. So in order to make this work, we have to add this one. We have to basically enclose that in a array. That is one way, or we can remove this and just mention that as a string. Yeah, both works. Now we have these two links. Okay. There is some error coming.
Oh, that is actually you didn't change the router link, I think.
Oh, okay. So in this case, it was throwing error, right? Yeah, good thing it happened. In this case, it is throwing error, right? If I
Yeah.
click on this, it is throwing some error. It is not doing
Yeah.
anything, it's throwing error. So to handle these scenarios, right, we have to add the wildcard star component, this one. Okay, product overview. Basically, whatever you enter, it will go to the product overview. Or we can basically add this thing. Redirect also fine. So in case of empty path, it will go to the overview. In case of any other path other than these two routes, it will go to the default one. Okay. Now let me click on overview. So it is going to the overview. But I have here, you can see the link here. It is coming here, right? When I hover, it is saying contact us.
Mm.
But when I click on this, there is no error. It is going to
Yeah.
the overview. Okay, that's how this wildcards will work. And yeah, so this is how the child roots. So child roots basically have a prefix like a parent path, and inside that you can have as many number of URLs as you want. Basically, these kind of child roots will be useful. You have if you have a tabbed page, like if you have a parent page and then you have tabs inside it, and whenever you click on the tab, basically this URL will change, the component inside that will change. So the main advantage of this is the stuff above this one and stuff below this one will be same. Only whatever wherever the router outlet is there in the child component or the product details component. In this case, we have router outlet, right? So there only it will try to render this components, child components. Okay. So I can basically have in the product details page, I can have anything. Okay, I can have any stuff like this. But I because I gave the child router outlet here, so whatever I'm like, wherever the link is, it doesn't matter. It not necessarily to be inside this. Basically, you can have anywhere here. You can, whenever you click on that, basically only this section is changing. But when you click on this one, the entire thing is changing. So did you get the difference?
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the important thing about the child roots. Okay. And did we practice the path params and query params yesterday? No, right?
No, we did. Path params and query we did.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't remember. Did we
I like my screen was shared and it was practiced in my.
Oh, okay. So basically we printed all the query params and path params, right? Okay. So the same thing, even for the child roots also, we can have path params or query params. So after this, we can take a path param also. So that must be defined in here. If you want to take path param after the overview, you can define something like overview. We can section some, maybe, or we can have some section, right? So section ID, something like that. So this section ID is available inside the product overview component. Here you can inject the activated root service, and then in ng on in it, you can basically have access to that variable. So whatever you do inside whatever you do for this parent path set, so everything is applicable for the child roots also. Okay. So now we have added this while root configuration for the child roots, right? So let's see for the parent roots also. If I try to enter something else, it will throw some error, can't match any roots, and it is going to the empty page, the home path. Okay. Now we can basically add **, but this is out of this, right? So this is not related to the product details. This is out of this. So now redirect to home and path match full. See, it is not throwing any error. It is directly going to the home path. Okay, this is how we can handle the edge cases. Okay. So any questions so far?
No, I understood this one.
Okay, cool. So what else we have? Like, you have any doubts from like previous sessions? You can ask now, because I don't want to go into the next topic today, because tomorrow she'll join, right? Sana will join.
Yeah.
We'll continue from there, from new topics.
No.
Okay, we are good, right? So I think we can end the session.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Mhm.